Hello, everyone. It's Alexis here with Create Your Future, and we're back with another video today. We have Ulli joining us. Hi, Ulli. How's it going?
Hi, Alexis. I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks for asking. So, you guys, we have a really exciting video today about how to visualize to manifest what you want and using visualization and your imagination to create whatever you want in your life. So, Ulli has some exciting success story information and tips for us. Go ahead, fill us in.
Thanks, Alexis. Hi, guys. Yes, today I want to share a success story of one of my clients, and she manifested a text message from her SB. So she contacted me and she told me a little bit about their story. They met someone last year on Tinder, and they texted each other, and then they started calling each other, and they were in consistent communication. And then suddenly the contact got less and less, and her SP only sent her a hi or WhatsApp now and then. And he always stayed friendly and polite, though, but he seemed to be not interested in her anymore. But she stayed very patient, and without seeing any improvement, then of course she started to ask herself if she did something wrong, if she maybe was a little bit too clingy, if she was a little bit too needy, if it was too obvious that she started to like him. And then she tried the relationship talk, and
Oh,
we've all been there, right? And yeah, of course, she asked him if she did something wrong, if he met someone else, if something happened, and then he, of course, told her that everything was fine and he liked the communication between the two of them, and everything was okay and no worries. And then she started to watch some videos on YouTube of several relationship coaches, and she followed their advice, and she contacted him only now and then, and she kept waiting for several hours until she responded. And when he sent her a very short text, then she started to mirror him, and she started to also write him a very short text back. And whenever she got a very long text message, she also responded a very long text message too. And she wasn't really sure of that she began to disempower herself, and she only started to react to his behavior. Okay. And this was the moment when she contacted me and she told me the story. And she told me that she really had tried out everything and she was very close to give up. And then we were talking about her next goal, and she told me that she wanted to receive a text message of him. And of course, I gave her some affirmations. For example, he's always reaching out to me. He loves to text me. We are in constant communication. He loves to initiate contact and so on. But apart from that, we also started to visualize the whole scene. Okay. And it was weekend. I remember the day. It was Friday afternoon. And she told me that she is going to have a nap, and because it was a very exhausting week, and she's tired from work, and she decided that when she will wake up, she will have a text message of her SP on her phone. Okay. And guess what happened? So a few days later, she reached out again, and she told me that it happened exactly the way she had imagined it. So she had a nap, she woke up, and there was the text of her SP. And she was wondering if she was dreaming or still asleep, but it was real. So let's talk about the technique she was using and what exactly is visualization. So I think everyone has his favorite technique, okay? And so for me personally, besides scripting, I really love to visualize. And I love to visualize in whole scenes. For example, me going on a vacation, me being on a beautiful island and enjoying the sun and sipping a lovely cocktail and lying on the beach.
I love it.
I love it too, because it's very cold where I am at the moment. We have a lot of snow. Okay, so yeah, so I'm dreaming of going to a beautiful island and enjoying the sun and so on. And so let's talk about it. What exactly is visualization? I found an explanation in one of my dictionaries, which I want to share, and it says, it means to form a picture of someone or something in your mind in order to imagine or remember him, her, or it. And I think we all know this saying, a picture says more than 1,000 words, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what makes pictures now so powerful? And I think the reason lies in the structure of our brain, because our subconscious mind thinks in pictures more powerfully than it does in words. And our brain can't see a difference between visualizing something and actually doing it. And now, how do we visualize? I think everyone does it. Okay, athletes do it, and artists do it, and musicians do it, and managers do it, and Alexis, you do it, and me, I do it. We visualize every day. Okay, so if you think about the pullover we want to buy, we visualize when we think about the dinner we want to cook. We visualize when we think about the movie we watched recently. We also think about the person we want to go for a walk with, okay? And visualizing as a technique to manifest a person or thing into our life is exactly the same. So there's no difference, okay? We put ourselves into certain situation we want to attract, and we think, feel, hear, and smell as if we were exactly where we want to be. So to speak, we use our 5 senses, and we can ask ourselves, where am I? What can I feel? What can I see? What can I hear? And if we stick with the picture of our island or of our last holiday, we are on the beach, okay? Let's say we smell the fresh air. Let's say we see the swings of the boats. Maybe we can also hear the seabirds, and maybe we feel the sun on our skin. So clients sometimes ask me if they have to see very clearly, okay? Because sometimes you tell me something like, I only see shadows, okay? And I think it's not really important to see very crystal clear. And then there's the next question, which people like to ask, do I have to visualize in first person or do I have to visualize in third person? Okay. And yeah, I mean, if you can visualize in first person, okay, then feel free to do it. But I visualize so many things also in third person. And it means that I see a whole scene as if I'm watching a movie. And I manifested many things also from my third person view. So I think it's not a big deal. And if you want to learn how to visualize in first person, there's a tip I want to share. So let's say you will first focus on your hands, okay? And then you close your eyes. And then you start to visualize what your hands look like. And you can do exactly the same with your feet. So to speak, you can scan your whole body to get used to it, to view your first person kind of view. Okay. And then you can repeat it over and over again until you get used to it.
Well, so let's just pause there for a second so we can kind of go over some of the things that you've just like talked about. So this is for what you're saying is that this is for someone who's maybe not understanding how to visualize, or how do you bring visualization into your manifesting, right? Because I know we get asked this a lot. How do we visualize with the mental diet? But from what I'm hearing in this story, this client, to get the text message, she actually used her mental diet and visualization to get what she wanted, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So she was using her affirmations, okay. But apart from that, she imagined even the whole scene where she would be when she will get the message. So it's not only okay, I'm getting a message and he's texting me, something like that. So for her, it was totally important to make it more real and to make it believable for her. And then she decided, okay, it's up to me to decide when I get this text message and what am I doing when I get the text message. And she decided it will happen this weekend because I have time. Okay, I'm ready to receive his text message. And I'm having a nap, so I'm totally calm and relaxed. And then when I will wake up, there will be his text message on my mobile phone. And it happened exactly the way she decided it to happen.
I love that. Yeah, because we get asked a lot of questions about visualizing, how to visualize, do we have to visualize? And I think you and I can agree that you don't have to, but if you can, that you can enhance it as part of your manifestational process, right? That's what we're saying.
Exactly. Yes. You can even you can name it as imaginal act, for example. It's not only about visualization. You can add inner conversation to it. Okay. So let's say you are on the beach and then you imagine your SP sitting close to you and you're talking about your holidays and you hear him saying how much he enjoys spending time with you and having a great time. And so it's not only about visualization. I think visualization is just one part of the, let's say, the imaginal act, but there you can combine it with in a conversation as well.
Yeah, well, I think that really helps because there's kind of a lot of other law of attraction thinking out there that you only have to visualize, which then it would negate the mental diet. It would be like you could visualize whatever you want, but then think whatever you want. And we know that that's not true because your thoughts create. So I think this is a really beautiful way to guide people to how to visualize, and then first person point of view, third person point of view. So could you specify more about that, about if someone were to like close their eyes? Maybe you could actually walk us through that, about if they close your eyes and you feel your hands or you see your hands, and how to visualize from the first person versus the third person.
Yeah, let's say, yeah, you can, for example, let's stick with the example maybe with your SP, okay? Then, for example, you can imagine that he's coming towards you and he's embracing you and you're kissing each other, okay? And then, because maybe it's more interesting than focusing only on your hands, but let's say, and then he's coming towards you, okay? And you can imagine his face being very close to yours, okay? And he's taking you in his arms, and then you close your eyes, and then you imagine him kissing you, okay? I think this maybe is very easy, okay? And if you would see, let's say, the whole scene from a third person kind of view, then you would watch it like a movie, okay? You see yourself in the movie, and you see him coming towards you in this movie, okay? And then you're seeing the two of you embracing and kissing, okay? But maybe I think you can feel it more real if you can imagine the whole scene from your first point of view, because I think everyone knows what it means to be kissed, and I think it makes it maybe more juicy and fun if you imagine this scene from your first point of view.
I think so. I mean, when I visualize, I agree with you that I have manifested things through visualization and the imagination in first person point of view or third person point of view. And from the NLP perspective, you do both in terms of integrative psychology and the mind. But I'll tell you that I think it's much more juicy and like much more exciting when it's me. It's from my eyes. Like I'm in my body. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They both work, right? I think it's like, it's funny because as you're saying that, I'm kind of imagining, my imagination's already kind of imagining me. And what I always do is I look down and I see my hands, and I always have my fingernails done. So I know that they're my hands, my fingernails. And then I have a tattoo that I see. Like I know that it's my skin, it's my body, it's me. So that's like, and how it feels. And at first, whenever I imagine anything. So I think that's so great that you point that out, because that helps you distinguish versus first or third person. Really interesting stuff here. So juicy.
But I think it's not that complicated, and you don't have to force yourself. I think it's totally okay if you only see your scene from your third person view. I think it's also fine, because some people tell us you can't manifest if you see it only from an outside view. Then you maybe are manifesting something for another person, and I manifested so many things from a third point of view. So I think it doesn't really matter. Okay, but maybe as you said before, maybe it's more real if you can visualize things from a first person view.
I don't think it really matters. I mean, we want to remind everybody that mental diet and the imagination and visualization and manifesting, it is designed by our creator for us to be creators, to be fun, and a way to get what you want, versus like you have to do it this way or have to do it this way, or and
exactly.
There really isn't one set way to do it for everybody, right? So you have to kind of figure this out for yourself, like what gets you the results, versus trying to make it another like school homework or another to-do list where it's like this thing you have to figure out and you have to get and understand and apply all these things to.
Yes, exactly. And I think it's never about the technique. So use a technique which makes you feel good and fine. And I think don't force yourself. So if you don't like to visualize, okay, then don't use it. Maybe you're more a person who likes to script or meditate or using in a conversation. This is totally fine too. So every technique should only take you to the state where you feel calm and relaxed, and where you feel that your desire is already here, and this is why we are using techniques. So don't force yourself. So if you don't like to visualize, then don't do it. But if you want to try it out, then go for it. And I think it's fun to do. And so because sometimes, in the evening, I'm too tired to script. It takes too much effort. and a pen and write down my affirmations. Then I sit and I like visualizing things, because for me then it's more natural and it's more fun to do. But everyone is different, as you told before, and I think it's not about the technique itself. So don't force yourself. But if you want to try it out, I have 2 tips for you.
Go ahead.
Which I would like to share. And because recently a client called me, and she told me that she already had a common past with her RSP, and she wanted to try it out. She wanted to try to visualize also. And then I told her, you already have experience with the RSP, and take a positive memory. Okay, so let's say the 2 of you sitting on the sofa watching a movie, and then you fit the desire you want to manifest into your scene. So let's say we stick with that picture of both of them sitting on the sofa, and imagine him telling you how much he appreciates you. Imagine telling him how much he loves that the 2 of you are back together. Okay, so she can use a memory she already has of the 2 of them. Okay, and then she just modifies it. Okay, she adjusts it, and this is all she has to do. And if you don't have a past experience with the RSP, then let's stick with the example of the beach, okay, or any other memory you have. And then you add your recipe into this picture. Okay, so let's see. Me, I'm lying on the beach. Okay, and I'm having fun. Then I'm enjoying the sun. Okay, and then I imagine my recipe sitting close to me. Okay, or talking to me, or we are playing frisbee, or we are going for a walk on the beach, and it means I take a memory I already have, okay, and then I add the person I want to attract or I want to manifest into my scene. So maybe this makes it a little bit more easy.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Well, I think those are great tips. I mean, it's again, it's all about the personal process, right? And kind of adding these things in. But I think that if you've already had an experience with, if it is for an SP, then you kind of like adding on to that sounds really, I was kind of like, as you were talking, I was so in my imagination. It was so funny because it made me go into my inner world. It made me kind of go into my 4D and I kind of zoned out for a second thinking like, oh, it's so nice being there.
Yeah. And I think everyone does it. So I think we don't really have to learn it because everyone visualize it. So when we think about the food we want to cook for dinner, we already see it on our plate. Okay, we exactly know what it will look like when it's ready to eat. And I think we don't really have to learn it. So maybe sometimes our mind starts to wander around, and then we just go back to the scene. And the more we practice it, the more easier it gets. And it's all about practice. But I think we don't really have to learn it. I think really everyone knows how to do it.
Well, yeah, and it's like people say, you know, oh, I can't visualize, but everybody does. Because if we were to tell everyone that's watching this, think of a lemon. Think of an apple. Most people, I would say 95% of people would think of a lemon, would think of an apple. So it's like, so, you know, we're all visualizing all of the time. But I love this too, how you gave her the intentions of he's always reaching out to me. He loves to initiate contact, because it seems like there was sort of like, it was bookended, because we just want to reiterate too, if we're visualizing and we're imagining, we're still doing the mental diet. We're not saying that you visualize and imagine and then think whatever you want to think during the day. Because I think with the conscious manifesting and conscious creation, that's the part that's left out. Is that either visualize, mental diet, where you've really got to be doing both. So we saturate the mind,
combine it. Yeah, exactly. Use your affirmations, okay, and then if you're in the mood, you can visualize it. I think there are so many videos out there on how to get a text from your SP, and you visualize him scrolling down to your name, and then he's writing a special text, and you receive it, and you get excited, and maybe you have a special ringtone for him, and you hear the sound of your mobile phone. I think it's totally easy to follow this step. So there's so many videos out there, and I think you just can imagine that, and because it's totally easy. I once saw, I think it was Carol, she made a video about getting a text from her SP. And she mentioned there that it's totally easy to get a text, because we don't have to make it a big deal, you know, because millions of people get millions of texts every day, and it's not like climbing a huge mountain or something like that. I think it's totally easy. And tell yourself it's totally easy to get a text, because I get a text from so many people every day, and everyone is texting everyone, and it's not really hard to get a text, right?
Right. Well, even as we were talking before we started the video, most of us are still in some kind of lockdown or COVID thing. This is a perfect time to manifest for a text message, because everybody's texting. We're all remote, we're all texting, we're Zooming, we're Google Meeting, we're all sort of, you know, by our phones. So what a perfect time to experiment with visualizing, getting a text, getting what you want, you know, using your imagination, all that good stuff.
Exactly. Use your time.
Use your time wisely, guys. Use your time wisely.
Yeah, it's the perfect time, because spring is coming, Valentine's Day is waiting for you. Okay, so use the time to use your affirmations, to script, and
I love that.
Share your success stories with us. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good point. Share success stories too. I was going to say, if anybody, if our subscribers, if you have any comments about this, about if you have visualized or what visualizing has been like for you, then you can also let us know in the comments below and make this interactive with us, because Ulli and I do look at the videos once they get posted, and we love to hear what you have to say about your visualizing. Does it work for you? Has this cleared it up for you? And now you hopefully feel comfortable knowing that you can manifest and visualize in first person, third person, and combine that with your mental diet and those juicy affirmations. So
yes, exactly.
yeah. Well, you guys, like we always say, Ulli is available for coaching, and the link to book with Ulli is in the description box below. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have an awesome day. Bye.